I'm Matt Seddon, I'm your race commentator here tonight, and these lads behind me are going to hear every single word. Pool 5K about to get going.
10 seconds! One and Jack.
So away they go. So away they go here, Friday night under the lights, back again. Some years now, it's been 3 or so years since it first started. Rumour has it there might be a course record tonight. I know Jack Kavanagh's in fine form. He's won in Dulwich, he was second at Home Nations, he was second here in February as well in 14:03. And he is hungry for Jack Rowe's record out there on the course, so whether or not he'll have that in him tonight, he won't have much help at all. Max Hayden, who was probably going to be his closest rival here today, I've already seen him drinking a few beers, he's canned this season, and rightly so, he's had a good season at that, the 13:42 man. So a nice pack early, that's what we like to see, especially if Kavanagh is to get close to that course record. We're underway, down past the bandstand. New Balance doing a fine job this time around, sponsoring the magical podium under the lights. As always, fierce competition, and this is a straight. This is where things really get going at this stage. There's a few New Balance strips out there as well, where I see a few of these men on the far side, but Kavanagh will be in the blue. Ed Blythman, he's a man that you want to watch out for as well. Bedford and County. Very, very close to that 14-minute barrier. He's had a phenomenal track season, and time and time again, he's done a lot of 5,000 races this year, and 3,000 sub 8:10 man. So he's got it in him to go quick here today. I must say, conditions are near perfect out here. Sun just setting, just perhaps getting a little bit dark, and I know that to really rip round this course, you need a little bit of daylight, and we've got that tonight. So. First straightaway, almost complete. We'll take that left-hand turn. You guys at home know this course better than I do these days. The amount of competitions we get to see at under the lights. So all these men looking very smooth, just hugging in behind, just in behind the bike as well. And just taking a little bit of a tail out here. There's not much breeze at all, like I said, but just good to get into that rhythm and get a feel for things early on in this race. Gosh. I think I'll just go alongside. Yeah. So one of the men to look out for as well, there's Finley Proffitt in the black, just kind of drifting his way to the outside. Luca Minale as well, the steeplechaser, also rocking that black New Balance strip. Running 8:45, that was last year, went to the European Juniors as well. He's had an okay season over the barriers, but perhaps some of his best performances early on in the season, over 5,000, over 3,000, so he's got to it this summer, and he's been building nicely, getting ready for this one. So, good pack in here. Ben Biggs is just tucked in there as well. He's a 14 teams man at his very best, coached by Scott Overall, works for New Balance as well, so he knows these shoes better than anyone, by the way. The SC Elite on full show here at podium under the lights. A Meta on up front in that Ashford, those yellow colours, looking ever so smooth at this rate. So Blythman on the outside. These men are looking awfully chill. I have a feeling we'll get that sort of 2K split coming up. But I have a feel it's fairly modest at this stage. There's not many of them who look under stress, and you'd expect that this early on, but a pack this big, a lot of these men are sort of 14-20 runners. 14-25 and below. It's Jack Kavanagh who's the real standout man. 13:48 by the way he ran, and I think now is probably a pretty good time to get those splits in, but also just mention the fact that these podium meetings, I mean, I counted up, doing a little bit of research before, 466 men have broken 15 minutes at Friday Night Under Lights round Battersea Park here. And that's in the last 3 years. It's quite incredible, really. And 10 have gone sub 14. Of course, Jack Rowe being one of them with that course record. Tom Butler in there, by the way, in that St Mary's uniform. He was here for the 10,000 back in April around the park, and had a good ding dong there. Sort of closed hard, went off hard as per. Butler loves it. And also a man who was there for that 10,000 was Aiden Lennan, Southampton AC runner. Steve Phillips working with him and got very well, ran a lifetime best that day, or just outside 30:05. Very, very close to that sub 30 minute clocking, and he's someone who you'd expect to be able to obliterate 14:20 the way he ran that 10k round here, virtually kind of solo as well. Essien was giving chase, but he hasn't done it yet, and he is looking to just really find his form. So the men just avoiding those bollards there on that one. We know this is the business end really of the lap as we complete lap 1. This is 2k on the coming up here, so we'll give you a shout on the split just to give you some context. And oh, we're bang on 5:45, boys. Wow, 5:40 as we know, that's bang on 68, so that'd be 14:10 tempo. So I don't think we're going to see a course record here today, but we could see a whole host of PBs because of this many contention through the opening half of this race. We're going to be able to have a big old dust up going forward. So what we've got 10 in this front pack, then Big just on the rear end of it with Tom Butler alongside him as well. Ed Blythman, Kavanagh, all these guys. Charlie Wiley due to be in here. Haven't seen him as of yet. So Finley Proffitt as well, just fading back a little bit is Proffitt. So coming up to halfway, that's a lap done for these guys. Ed Blythman just leaning in on Kavanagh there and wanted to take that turn as close as possible. It's funny, isn't it? They all like to just hug the inside out here. As you'd expect, I mean, there's time to be lost. You've got to take that narrow line. Certainly on some of these curves, here's the little bump that can often catch a few people out. Go ahead. At this stage. So Proffitt just looking to move up. So now this is where the business end's going to start. This is where they're really going to get moving. I know, speaking to Kavanagh's coach before, he said that he wanted to, at 2.5k he was going to sit in, then the remaining 2.5k he was going to do it all by himself and really try and hunt down that sub 14 clocking. That'd be a second one for him of the year. He was 4th at those British Road 5,000 metre championships just a couple weeks ago as well. Well, last weekend, wasn't it? And up there, and that wasn't a good course. It wasn't conducive to fast times, but he's a fantastic racer, is Kavanagh, and you can see him now. Blythman just looking to respond to it. Metahon just dropping off this group alongside Butler as well. Then Biggs needs to hang in there. Luca Minale looking good. Finley Proffitt as well. So we've got some good members. This is 2 in blue at the moment. It's Kavanagh and Blythman. And do you know what? Some will say the way Kavanagh races, he's quite a canny racer. He's tactical. And he's got a fantastic sprint finish on him as well. But I've seen him time and time again, SALs, NALs. He's led from gun to tape over the 5,000, over the 3,000. And one of the four, it ran a 14:20 completely solo at a National League earlier on in the summer. And that was one of the most impressive things I've seen, to be honest. Alongside that, a low 8 minute clocking over 3,000 as well.
27 at 3K.
So looking good at the moment. Blythman just hanging in there, using that 344, 1,500 metre strength of his. So still, he's got plenty of people with him as Kavanagh at this stage. And that's interesting to see. I would have thought he'd really start to put the hammer down. But he's still got a lot of men. Also a man that I haven't mentioned too much of, Archie Coates in this one, 3rd at the English schools, 3,000 metres. What, Ed? Got an ID on the man in second. It's Cal Mills, of course, of Leeds AC. Superb athlete, 14:10 on the track, by the way. His road 5K, he's one of the few men these days who road 5K is considerably slower than his track 5K. He's a 14:27 man on the road, so he's set to smash that. And he's hanging on to the coattails of Kavanagh and co at this stage in the race. So Kavanagh back to the front then, leading where he's wanted to just stretch it, but he's having a little bit of help out there. Luca Minale doing a good job just to hang in there. 4th place at the moment. Mentioned before, 8:45 steepler, studying up at Northumbria, but a 14:07 man is well within him. He's a fantastic mover, is Minale. And a 1:88, but still Kavanagh and Blythman, these two. Charlie Jones is also in here, a little bit further back. Business end then, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming up to that 4-kilometre marker. Finley Proffitt still moving well. He's been detached. He's in 5th place all on his own. But now we've got 4 up front. We're expecting a kick finish at this stage. This is 10.5 minutes on the clock. As they weave their way through Battersea Park. And by the way, while I've got your attention, podium 10 years old in November, the 10-year anniversary. They've given out over £100,000 of prize money over the last, 4 or 5 years in this sport. And it's just fantastic to see what they've done to these events. Also, what people like Ben Node and Keith Schofield have done to 5,000 metre running. I said earlier, over 450 sub-15 clockings, 10 sub-14 clockings around Battersea Park alone. Would you believe it? Also, that's not even including the 5-mile race that they have at the back end of the year in December, and you can look forward to that as well if you're liking what you see here. That 5-miler will be taking place in December, as always. So then, Kavanagh and Blythman just hanging in there. Minale being reeled in. Tom Butler moving well as well in the St Mary's colours. This could be him. He's very, very measured. He's a very scientific athlete. His coach follows that scientific method. Lots of lab testing, training at the correct intensity. So he'll know his limit. He'll know what he's got left. But this is relatively uncomfortable territory for him. He wouldn't have been in these positions with someone hot on his heels in behind as well.
Mate, quiet, just struggling to find the ball, as I say.
Me and the crew on the bike, whizzing around Battersea Park. We really are under the lights in full flow, and so is Kavanagh at this stage. He's got a little bit of a break. He's got a metre or two, but it's not enough yet. Not enough. He has not finished off.
Let's go, Carl.
Carl in 2nd place. He's looking very, very smooth. He's going to be awfully close to his lifetime best as well. So, Blythman in 3rd if you're interested a little bit further back. Tom Butler as well in 4th. Finley Proffitt still moving well. He's moved up to 5th. Luca Minale just fading a little bit. I mentioned that he struggled in this track season. But Kavanagh trying to be king here. Carl is 2nd. Looking as smooth as ever is Kavanagh. And this is what he's done all season long. And you'll be hard pushed to find a man with as many wins under his belt as Jack Kavanagh, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter where they've come from, but he's always there or thereabouts. And as I said, he won in Dulwich. He's going to sweep £300 here tonight as well. He's going to win here. He was 2nd in Cardiff at the Home Nations. 2nd here a few months ago in February at Friday night under the lights. He ran 14:03 that day behind Henry McCluckey. He kind of won that race. The race amongst the race as well. So into the last couple hundred metres in the distance, ladies and gentlemen, he has got on Carl in 2nd place. Is quite something. He has absolutely destroyed the field here in a matter of a few hundred metres. Jack Kavanagh, one to look out for, especially going into the next few years, because he has had a fantastic season. He hasn't done any BMCs. His coach refuses. He's not ready for them yet. But boy, oh boy, can he win races and get the job done here tonight. Kavanagh, king of Battersea. Hometown boy, Carl is 2nd, just outside 14:10. Tom Butler coming through. What a fantastic round, 14:14. Blythman as well inside 14:20. And these men, Henry and Luca Minale as well, coming across the line.
Well,
what a night in Battersea Park. He's going to be ever so close to his lifetime best as well. How many men can dip inside 15? As I said, 466 over the last 3 years. We're going to have a few more tonight as well. In fact, we're probably going to top 500 tonight.
James. Well done,
Finn breaking that 15-minute barrier as they flock across. It's been a pleasure once again. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. As I said, there's a big one, New Year's Eve. And Podium's 10-year anniversary on November the 9th as well, up in its traditional Barrowfoot, the OG course. And I'm sure a few of these men will be eyeing that, adding that to their winter fixtures, just like you should at home. Thank you and good night.